Well, howdy, howdy. This is James, the old white male. Hmm. I'll be. I'll go get my coffee. Be right back. Okay. I'll tell you what. It's colder than. Well, it's colder than an ice cube in the dark. That's how cold it is. The wind chill tonight where I live is supposed to get down into single digits, and well. I'm not going anywhere near outside. Anyway, this is bad form for me not being set up for my broadcast, but I do have topics pulled from today's news. It even goes on the back. Okay, let me see if I can't boost. No, that doesn't boost. Bear with me, bear with me. Sound settings. Okay, there we go. Now, how can I turn that up? Oh, there we go. Okay. Hopefully that. Whoa, hello. I think I got it too loud now. I don't know. How is that? Well, nobody's here, so can't tell me. But anywho, uh, tonight's first topic is a football coach was kneeling and praying either before or after a game that they just played or they were going to play, and apparently some of the children saw him praying, and they said something to the administration of the school, I guess. And this is something the coach has been doing for a long time. Up to this point, he would always pray, take a knee, say a quick prayer, and you know what the man's loyalty and hard work and determination got him? It got him fired. It got him fired. And I don't know what to say other than that's bullshit. As long as he doesn't force his beliefs on the poor kids or anybody else, I don't see a problem with that. What I think he should do is find him a good ass lawyer and sue the fuck. Oh, I cussed. Sorry. Bad James. But I would take the school district and that school to court and get as much money out of the school district and the school as he possibly could. And some people say, well, that's greedy. That's not being Christian. The guy got fired for praying, and one of his students saw him and ran and told somebody else. But it's something this man has been doing a while, and nobody said boo about it until he got fired. So if I were him, you need to go get a lawyer and file a suit against the school, number one, and you can probably sue the district also. But that's how I feel about that. Okay. The other day I talked about, I explained the whole thing with the Indian and the Christian children from that school, and those children. Well, number one, they've had to shut down the school for a couple of days because of death threats, and that's good. That's responsible, and all that. But these kids are in high school. They don't need this kind of pressure and aggravation. And these, I don't know how exactly to call it. Well, the people that were at the rally with the Indian, the other people, the bad ones, were throwing insults against these young men. And some of the quote unquote fair news media took about this much of the video, and they blew the roof off of it basically, and everybody else ran with it and did the same thing. And then Fox News, which I like, it's a good news station, and they're more, in my opinion, they're more fair and balanced than any of the other news, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, all of them guys. And they're just like the Democrats. Well, actually, they're in the Democrats' pocket. And they are trying everything they can, every little tidbit that might be something that they could use, or the Democrats could use, to basically force Donald Trump out of office. And Donald Trump has done nothing, but he helped us with the economy. He helped us with the jobs. There are more jobs than we have available people to fill them. As far as I know, I've never heard of that before. Having more jobs than we have people to fill them. But anyway, the Democrats are idiots, and they're doing everything they can to try and get Donald Trump out of office. And he has done almost everything he has said. No, actually, he has started on the wall. He's going to have the second summit with Kim Jong-un sometime, the leader of North Korea. let's see. Oh yeah, he was saying something about the UN and getting them to pay their fair share. And well, some of them have stepped up and got and put more toward the common defense in NATO. He got us out of the Paris Climate Accord, which was a good thing. I'm not a climate denier, but the doomsday that all these people are predicting, honestly, and I actually did some research into this. We're about 1,000 years away from that. 1,000 years. Okay, enough on the climate. But the Democrats are going to do anything and everything they can to get President Trump out of office. And God help us if they succeed in doing that. You think the Obama years were bad? Yeah. It'll be like 10 times worse because then they will have control of the whole country. And they're going to do everything they can to make the whole country like California. California's a nice place, or it was. In some of the major cities of California, they have so much of a homeless problem, homeless people in certain cities, and they're shooting up drugs because, well, the cleanup crew that they had to make special, the cleanup crews cleaning up the used drug needles, and also cleaning up fecal matter because the people are apparently going poop outside. And that is a state that is run by the Democrats, basically. And look what the hell they're doing to it. I mean, I used to want to go to live in California, but now you couldn't offer me enough money to move to California. There's no amount of money. I don't care. Democrats could offer me $15 million to move to California. But as long as my heart is beating in my chest, there is nothing that could get me to move to California. Even if the rest of the USA fell apart and the only land that was left standing is California, I'd jump into the abyss. It'd be a lot better than going to California. Okay, let's see. Oh, I saw this picture on Facebook, one of our social media platforms, and people are all up in arms and saying that Make America Great hats and shirts are now hate something or others, hate crimes or something like that. And okay, I'm going to replace the curse word with a regular word. And one of them said Trump. Yeah. And the other one said truck Trump and truck you for voting for him. The woman was wearing that one. And they say a MAGA hat is hate speech. Come on, people. I may not be the brightest person on the planet. I'm nowhere near the brightest person on the planet. But MAGA hat and those t-shirts. Make your own decision. I know what mine would be, and I know. Oh, yes. In this little tidbit. Okay. The Democrats, since they've taken the House, they got lucky. But since they've taken over the House, let's see, they've gone to Puerto Rico. They've been on another vacation, supposedly a summit, and then Trump pulled the rug out from under them and said, no, you can't go overseas because, well, the government shut down. And this was after Pelosi uninvited him to do the State of the Union in front of Congress. And no one has ever done that, to my knowledge, till the country first started. From the time that the president started doing the State of the Union address every year, and Nancy Pelosi says we don't have security. She was trying to use the shutdown as an excuse because people in the know called the FBI and Secret Service, and they said there's no problems with security. We'll be there. We'll do our jobs, even if the Democrats are keeping us from getting a paycheck. We're still going to do our jobs. And yes, that does mean protecting the Democrats too. It doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth at all, but they are human beings like the rest of us. And Ms. Pelosi, after today's session in Congress, they're taking a long weekend. And Mr. Trump's in the White House, waiting, just waiting. He's probably kicking back in that chair behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office, just sit there waiting for a Democrat, somebody, to come and make any kind of a deal. He is willing to come halfway. Give him $2.5 billion for the wall. And he'll work on a path for citizenship for the DACA, the Dreamers people. And what do the Democrats say? Basically, yeah. And you know what? The thing that gets me the most, it chaps my butt the most, is these people, the Democrats, aren't really worried about the shutdown because it really doesn't affect them because, well, They get paid whether the government does or not, to a point. Right now, none of the Democrats are don't have their paychecks not coming to them because they get paid. They get paid, and that's another thing I want to talk about is after these people, well, certain people in the government, they get their position, whether they're appointed or voted in, and in certain positions in the government, when they retire, I don't think, I don't know the exact specifics of it, but when they retire, some of them get $300,000 a year until they die. That's a hell of a retirement package, don't you think? These people will never have to lift a finger ever in their life. People are starving in California. People are starving in every major city in this country. They're just sitting on their asses getting fat. That chaps my ass. And I know I was a little bit late tonight. I apologize for that. I was watching another YouTuber and I lost track of time. But I mean, okay, like I've said before, I'll tell you my truth and what I see. The only reason the Democrats are doing what they're doing, why the government is closed, because Trump was winning too much for us. And the wall is basically all he has left to do from what he promised us during the campaign. And they do not want to let him have one more win, even though there are thousands of immigrants coming up from southern South America, making their way through Mexico and parking at our southern border. And if we don't get a wall, there are going to be problems. There are, plain and simple. Damn, especially in Texas. Yep. In Texas, they have this wonderful law. Well, if they haven't done away with it. But the last time I know, that if anybody stepped on your property uninvited, you don't have to say anything. And you could shoot them dead. That's if my memory serves me correctly and it's still on the books. I think it still is, but still. And God forbid that happens, the Democrats and the media will have a connection set for, they'll lose it. And it'll be like every other little thing that the Democrats and our press, not all of it, I'm not saying all the media, because there are good stations out there that you can get the truth from. Fox News is what I watch, because they are fair and balanced and unafraid to tell the truth, and they fact check before they put something out. I mean, they have in the past slipped up, and they've gotten better on that. And the company has had some issues in the past, but they got past it and they're doing better. The last poll I saw about this topic, that the only broadcast company who didn't basically run wall to wall hate Trump messages was something like 80 or 90% of a year. That was for the whole year. And if I remember correctly, there Fox News did run some anti-Trump stuff. When he messed up, they called him on it. And that's what the news is supposed to do. If you mess up, they have every right to write about it. But President Trump hasn't messed up once. Well, I mean, he's human. He has messed up. But as far as him as president, he's made our country stronger. He's made our country richer. He is trying to protect us. He has built up the military. Jobs are through the roof across all of the nationalities. Across all of them. Even for women, jobs are up. And pay is equaling out for women and men. And that's a win. For women, actually, that's a big win. You didn't see that happen during Obama's term, did you? No. No way. And then he thinks the little refund check that he was going to save the country with, it didn't do anything except take money from one place. It got filtered through the economy, through commerce, bills, taxes, rent, all that. Being adults. One of the things I hate about being an adult. Being responsible, but you have to, or you're going to be homeless. My point is, Donald Trump is trying his damnedest to put this country on the right track and trying to correct everything that the Obama years messed up. They messed up this country bad. The Iran deal, pallets, cellophane wrapped pallets of money flown over there, dumped off, and said, "Oh, thank you. The Paris Climate Accord? Oh, that's bullshit. They're gonna hit us the most on the carbon emissions and all that shit, and we have to pay, what is it, carbon like a carbon tax or something. And yeah, we do put stuff into the atmosphere. Cars, the exhaust, planes, trains. I mean, we're trying slowly, and it's happening. It's happening that we are going to be greener through the use of improved solar cells, uh, better turbines, and going to ethanol, something that is highly renewable and something that doesn't cost anything near to what it is to refine refine oil into gas and all the other stuff they do with oil. Ethanol's cheaper. But President Trump has us headed in the right direction. Finally, after 8 years of Obama. And at first, I gave Obama a chance. I did. Because he did all the things that usually pull the eyes over people. And I was one of them. He made promises on the campaign that didn't materialize when he was president. Keep your plan. And then the freaking tax on not having insurance. All that was a big money grab by Obama's administration. And I don't know where it went, but we sure as hell didn't see it. Not at all. And the thing about walls, the Democrats have walls around their houses. Some of them do. Some of them might not. But the ones that do, you need to tear them some bitches down. If you tear them some bitches down around your own house, I'll quit harping on it. I mean, I'm harping to myself, and hopefully some people are seeing what, I mean, hearing what I'm saying. Well, I have a few people that I know that watch this after I get done with it. But I'm just a humble, well, not too humble, but humble American. And if the Democrats get their way, this country will be worse than Venezuela or any other place except for no, not Alaska. Australia. There we go. Australia. They have kind of a socialist government, but they've had it for years and years and years, and they got it working right. But the way the Democrats want it, they want it to be like the Orson Welles book, 1984. And in the book, it Orson Welles tells a story about a government that controls everything. What you think, what you say, what you do, when you do it. There is no free thought. If you have free thought, they would send you into reprogramming, and if the reprogramming didn't work, you would disappear. If you spoke out, same thing. And if it didn't work, same thing. They disappear. And I know in my heart of hearts that nobody in America wants that to happen. Even the illegals, if you honestly ask them and describe to them what the Democrats are trying to do to this country, they'd be like, if they're going to do that, I might as well go fucking home. Because at least there, I can have my own thoughts. Now, you could say pretty much what I want to, depending on the location. But people, wake up. Wake up, America. The Democrats aren't doing anything to help us. If they were, they wouldn't have the investigations going. The government would be funded and we would have a wall. And I probably wouldn't be doing this YouTube stream because I have watched this happen ever since Inauguration Day. The day that Trump took office, they started plotting and planning and trying to twist the truth to where they could get Trump out. And everything they've done, everything they've thrown at the wall hasn't stuck. Not one. There are people that are willing to commit perjury to say bad stuff about him. But as far as I know, Donald Trump has never done anything that would merit impeachment. Nothing. That man, when he took office, he said, don't give me a paycheck. Don't pay me. You give it to an organization. And every paycheck, he and Melania decide which charitable foundation to give that paycheck to. And they're helping charitable foundations. I've never seen another president do that. And the Democrats say he's been called Hitler. He's been called Stalin. He's been called a white supremacist. Womanizer. And a lot of other stuff that would probably get me banned from making videos. If I said it. But it won't be over. Even if the special counsel comes out and says there's nothing, Mr. Trump has done nothing wrong at all. I mean, he may have made some bad decisions with the people he chose to surround himself with. And we all do that. We're all guilty of that in one time in our life or another. And I know President Trump will be exonerated from the Russia crap. And if the special counsel were really honest and nonpartisan, he would say, Mr. President, I would like to continue my job and investigate Clinton, Mrs. Clinton, and the Clinton Foundation and everybody surrounding her and Bill. That's if he wasn't in the Democrats' pockets. But I know in my heart of hearts that he is not going to find anything against Donald Trump. No collusion. He's not making deals with the Russians to put a hotel up in Russia. I mean, come on, people. It's like the country was brainwashed during the Obama years, where this PC crap came from, political correctness. Oh, you can't call him that. You have to call him a indigenous American. What the hell is that? I'm an indigenous American. I was born here in America, so I can qualify for one of those if we go by the statement. And we have to be careful about anything that we do because we might trigger somebody. Something that we say might frighten them a little bit. And they're going to run off and say this, that, and the other. Oh, that reminds me. There was this girl in a pool. I've talked about this before. There was a girl in a pool, and she was drowning. A guy saw it. He went down to the bottom of the pool, pulled her up, pulled her out of the water, gave her CPR, brought her back to life, and his reward, she's trying to sue him for rape. What the fuck? Sorry. What the hell is that? Huh? If they keep this shit up, nobody's going to help anybody anymore. We'll be too afraid to do anything because we don't want to get sued. That's all I have tonight. I'm James, the old white guy. See you later.